Okay, here I have a Tradesman Magnesium Series nailer that the piston was returning after shooting, and so I took it apart and realized the stop crumbled into pieces. This is what remains of the stop. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find a replacement, so what I ended up doing is actually this is where the stop goes. I ended up rebuilding it. You can see here I rebuilt it using moldable plastic. I basically melted it and just pushed it there with a couple of washers and just with the help of a couple of sockets and a washer at the bottom. You see this is how it came out. And I'm gonna put it back in, and then I'm gonna reassemble and try if it works. Reassembled everything. Still missing the cover, but that's okay. Connect it to the air compressor, and I actually tested it already. It's working, but just let me give you show you. There we go. You see there? Now it's shooting nails perfectly. So again, if you can't find a stop for your nailer, one option is to rebuild it using moldable plastic. Worked for me. I had to use a box cutter to cut it after molding it, cut it a little bit into shape so it would fit, but it took me about, I would say, half an hour, the whole process. I spent way more time looking online for the right replacement before deciding on what to do. So yeah, that's an option for you if you can find a replacement part. Another option would be to use a 3D printer. I don't have access to the 3D printer. I didn't know exactly the specs that I mentioned of the stopper, and maybe what I'll do next time I take it apart is measure it so that I have at least the dimensions for the stopper, and maybe ask someone to build a stopper with a 3D printer for me. But so far it's working, so I'll just leave it like that. Now you can see that after shooting, the piston retracted completely. It's out of focus. Let's see, all the way back you can't see it, whereas previously the piston was getting stuck here in the percussion mechanism. I had to push it back by hand, and now you see that after fixing the bump stopper, it's perfectly retracted, and you can see the next bed nailer there ready to be shot. Alright, I should add that I try to buy pretty much every other brand, the stop of every other brand. The Porter Cable has 2 or 3 models that have a similarly shaped stop. None of them work. So just to save your time, don't buy any other brand, because they're just not gonna fit. They're too wide and they're not the right size.